So we've heard that for Athelstan that it's going to be a really traumatic season, that he's going to be, his new Viking faith is going to be tested and he may be rethinking Christianity, so...
Ah, did Michael tell you this?
Yeah, so you could tell us something.
Still more.
No, Michael, I've only read up to the end of episode 4 of season 2, but Michael's kind of teased me a bit of what will happen to Athelstan throughout season 2, and it's very, very dark, and I was saying earlier that I can't think of another character in another TV show that goes on the extremity of the journey that Athelstan does over 2 seasons, just where he starts, what he goes through, and where he then ends up within 1.5 seasons. It's really it's really exciting as an actor to do that first one, and quite scary reading it. You kind of think, I can't believe that this ever would have happened to someone, you know, but those are the characters you fall in love with most as an audience. It's like Shakespearean characters that are thrown into the most extraordinary circumstances and somehow survive this. Yeah. Struggling, constant struggle. Yeah.
So now there's a 4 years, I'm assuming season 2 there's a 4 years gap in between from season 1, and we're seeing a new, I guess an older version of Ragnar's son.
Yeah.
And do you know yet if the more interaction that you might be having?
We do. I mean, yeah, we've read the script, but I can't.
Shall I rephrase the question?
Just say yes, no.
Yes, no. No, Ragnar's family is very dysfunctional at the end of season 1, and very sort of well, it kind of is separated with him taking up this sort of love affair with Aslaug, this Jotunland princess, and so season 2 kicks off with this very dysfunctional family. So any kind of semblance of any relationship with any of them is rare, I'd say. Like, it's kind of, you know.
And what's Floki up to? I mean, since he was the man who created the boat that made it possible for them to go west, has his status rise now that Ragnar is the Lord?
I'd say so. You know, now there's a new guy, new king in town. You know, Ragnar's the Earl now, and Floki's a part of his posse. So, you know, this great hall that used to belong to Earl Harold, so now it's their living room. So of course he's part of that success story that is Ragnar's.
Does Floki have any sort of interaction with Athelstan? I mean, he's...
Oh yeah, well, you know, Floki, he's like the most, you know, pagan of them all. He's a pagan fundamentalist. You know, he truly believes in his God. He's willing to die for him. He's going for it. And I think that he questions that guy a bit, you know. He's a wannabe Viking, you know what I mean? He doesn't quite buy it. So there'll definitely be some of that interaction.
Is it hard to keep things secret? Like, for example, in the footage we saw tonight, something crazy happens with Floki.
Yeah.
Do you have to, like, bite your tongue constantly? Because you know, obviously, what happens with the character?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, are you kidding? You love it. You love sitting here and being like, I know something you don't.
Yeah, I didn't say I didn't like biting my tongue. I'm still biting it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. It's a good tongue to bite.
I wish Floki were more serious.
He's serious about what he's serious about, you know. He definitely has his moments. In the first season, it was the moment with Rollo when he was baptized. He wasn't fucking around then. So he definitely has his moment where there are some things that he's not willing to joke about. He wouldn't, like he says that even in the first episode, like, I'd never joke about shipbuilding. Some things are sacred to Floki, and whatever it is, he wouldn't compromise on that.
and everything else is fair game.
Yeah, and like, he's just that kind of guy, but it's not as easy. Like, it would have been boring to me as an actor if he would only be the joke. Right. So I like that guy. He's got these both sides, and he can get really dark, and really scary sometimes, and be really light and etherical as well. So I like that dynamics within the guy.
And how is Athelstan doing with Ragnar? You know, I thought that they were building a relationship, but then when they went to that retreat where they were going to do the human sacrifice, and he was the human sacrifice.
Well, they call it a retreat. A human sacrifice retreat?
Well, I can't.
It's not metaphor, is it?
Anyway, but so I would think at that point that he would have totally changed his attitude towards him because he thought he was building a friendship, but obviously he was expendable.
Yeah, well, remember at the end of season 1, you've not actually seen any interaction with Ragnar and Athelstan in episode 9 after that betrayal, because he's off in Jotunland flirting with Aslaug and getting into trouble. So there's a lot of time that passes between that, and then there's more time that passes between the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2. So when we finally see at the start of season 2 some interaction between them, a lot of time has passed, and also a lot has changed in his own family. And I mean, Ragnar is the reason that Athelstan is alive, essentially. I mean, yeah, okay, he let him nearly be sacrificed, but the reason he's made it this far is because of Ragnar Lothbrok, so...
But also that sacrifice is not like he's screwing him over to kill him. Like, in his mind, it's like it's an honor as well. It's like, you know, and then Leif steps in and he gets that honor. You know, it's not like I'm screwing you over to get you killed. It's more than that. For him, it's not like I'm killing you off. For him, it's that he actually truly believes that this is a way to get this guy into, you know, into his idea of heaven or Valhalla or whatever.
Except he's really a Christian.
So it's like doing him a favor, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure Athelstan quite sees it that way.
Right, being born to a Christian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's the wannabe Viking.
I'm curious what intrigued you actually to go for the character of Floki. And your audition process, actually.
Yeah, I sent in, I think in the beginning they were only casting Ragnar role, so I simultaneously sent in a tape for both those two characters, and then I got in feedback, like, you're really right for the project, and I read the pilot, and I actually really didn't fall in love with the Floki character, because as an actor, for me, it's just more to work with, it's funny, it's further away from myself, you go through a bigger transformation, and then they asked me to audition for that character. I was like, yeah, cool, bring it on. So that's how I ended up getting that character. And I was, it kind of had me at hello a bit. And because like it's such a funny character to play because I can really play with it. Sky's the limit what I can do with this guy. And the freer I am with this character, the more the audience is going to like it. There's no way to play this character straight and get away with it. It wouldn't work. It'd be just like
Do you improv? Do you improv a lot? I mean, I know you get re-scripted.
Yeah, well, we don't improv. I mean, we don't improv a lot of dialogue, but you know, in actions, which is so fun with Floki. There were so many scenes that were like group scenes, and most of the time, you just like if I was just to stand there and observe what happened, that would be so boring. But being Floki, I'd be like, you know, I'm not interested in that. I'm just gonna go over here and be like about that. You know what I mean? And then so I can always find something specific to do with Floki, and then if the director chooses to point a camera at that, and if they choose to keep that in the editing, cool. If they don't, fine. You know, but for me, it's fun because I can always find something specific to do and something fun to do. And a lot of stuff they actually choose to keep, and like stuff that I just came up with that wasn't in the script. So that was fun.
Yeah. I was just going to say, also, if you have a cast member on a team in something that is willing to risk a lot and have seemingly a lack of fear in going into working in scenes and dialogue, it gives everyone else a lot more confidence to go to places. Like when you read the dialogue of Floki, in the script. I mean, Floki didn't have to be the eccentric character that you made him. But in doing it and having that kind of lack of fear, you get to work with an actor that you feel safe with. Do you know what I mean? In scenes, and you feel like you can kind of.
Check it out.
Thank you.